Alright everyone, welcome back to Call of Duty. Now, this video is a little different from the normal gameplay videos I have. This is a video like the best classes and multiplayer video I made a while back, a few months ago now. This is going to be a best classes to use in Warzone. Now, of course, this is all up to opinion and what guns you like best. Some people like certain guns that I just don't like using, that I think are not good guns, but they're really good with them, and if you are, more power to you. But for me, these are the best classes to use in Warzone, as it is right now. That could change obviously because it also goes with the meta and things like that. So let's just jump into it. So my Warzone classes, I have about half of my classes are Warzone and about half of them are multiplayer. So these top 5 ones are multiplayer, and these 4 are Warzone, and then this one is just whatever gun I'm grinding for gold. Obviously, you can tell. Right now it's the FAL, in the process of that. But I've been playing a lot of Warzone, so that's been kind of put on pause. So the first one I have is like the most broken class in Warzone, because they're one of the strongest, if not the strongest weapons in Warzone right now, and that is the MP7 and the RPG. Now the MP7 is super strong. It's a laser beam. It melts people, and it's just really strong. And you can make your own class to like reduce recoil and stuff, but just the ones you pick up, even a base MP7 that you can pick up, a gray one, is still extremely strong. So that's why I have an MP7 class. So let's just take a look at what I have on it. I have the mono suppressor, which increases the range, the damage range. I have the FSS Recon, which increases range and bullet velocity, and also helps with recoil control. I'm losing a little bit of mobility with it, but I'm kind of okay with that. In Warzone, I'm not trying to fly around too much. Sometimes, yes, but not a lot. The 1 megawatt weight laser, which helps to hip fire accuracy, but doesn't give away my position like the other lasers do. Especially in Warzone, you really don't want that unless you're sniping. The stipple grip tape, or stipple grip tape, because it helps ADS speed and sprint to fire speed, so I gain a little bit of the mobility I'm losing from the other attachments back with the stipple grip tape, or stipple grip tape, and then sleight of hand to be able to reload quickly. In my opinion, this is probably the best MP7 class in general, but especially in Warzone. You can adjust some things if you want more mobility or stuff like that, but with this you still get pretty good mobility and really good range and accuracy, and it already has pretty good damage. So this is a really good class to run, especially in Warzone. And then the RPG. Now the reason I run the RPG is a few things, because right now one of the biggest metas is vehicles, driving around on vehicles and running people over. It's one of the biggest metas, so I run the RPG so that you can deal with that. Same thing with the C4s that you see here. Now in any Warzone class, you're gonna want to run a heartbeat sensor. They're that good. In multiplayer, they're not really useful, but in Warzone, they're extremely useful because it will show you enemies' locations near you, as long as they're not running ghosts, which... Cool. That's what I wanted. Let's go back. That came out of nowhere. Alright. As long as they're not running ghosts, which as you can see, this class, I am indeed running ghosts. I'm also running cold-blooded, because one of the other metas, and you'll see it later on in one of my classes, is thermal snipers. Or just thermals in general. Cold-blooded is good for that. It's still not that good to stop it. You can still pretty easily see people, even if they are cold-blooded, when you're looking through a thermal sight. But still, and I run amped, because amped helps with the rocket launcher reload speed and the weapon swap. So if I'm swapping to an RPG because somebody's coming at me with the car, I do it a lot faster. So that's why I run that class. It's a really good class. It's a fun class to use. It's an aggressive class. And it's a class that I enjoy using. Now this class is my M4 and sniper class. This is more of a passive, rooftop to rooftop, you know, kind of medium to long range class. Obviously I have overkill on, so I don't have ghost, which is kind of why this is more of a sniping class, because you can't really be too aggressive if you don't have ghost, because you'll be easily seen by heartbeat sensors and by UAVs and things like that. So this is just my M4, which this is what I have on my M4. I have the monolithic suppressor, the grenadier stock, which increases the recoil control, damage range, and bullet velocity. This gun already doesn't have that much recoil, but when you put these attachments, it doesn't move. It literally doesn't move. At the M16 stock, which helps with aiming stability. The 60 round mag is a must in Warzone, because you need to be able to have enough ammo to go through as many people as possible on one clip, so you don't have to reload. You can take out with this amount of ammo, you can take out an entire squad with one clip, or you can take one guy out and finish him off without having to reload, which is really important. And I also throw on the mini reflex. I don't like the iron sight of the of the M4. Personally, I don't like it. You could take this off if you're good with the iron sight and put on the laser sight for hip fire accuracy, or the stipple grip tape for ADS speed and sprint to fire speed. But personally, I don't like the iron sight, so I always run the mini reflex. And yeah, this one's just really good. Like it doesn't move. It's a laser beam. It does so much damage because it's still an M4. Sniper wise, I like the HDR. I'm working with the AX50. I really haven't used it that much, so maybe I'll switch eventually. But right now, the HDR is my favorite sniper. This is the class I run right now. Now, mind you, I don't have it maxed out, so when I do max it out, maybe I'll have things that I'll add on or change. But as of right now, this is what I run. So I run the tactical suppressor. I'll probably put the mono suppressor once I get it. But this just helps with sound suppression, so you can't tell where the shots are coming from, which can be really helpful, especially in Warzone. It does reduce the ADS speed and aim walking steadiness, but I'm not trying to quick scope people in this. This is more like building to building, really long range sniper fights. That's why I run that. I run the 26.9 HDR Pro barrel, which helps with damage range, bullet velocity, and recoil control. Again, you're giving up ADS speed and movement speed, but again, I'm not trying to quick scope, so that's fine with me. It increases the range, so when you have those really long, like cross map sniper fights or rooftop to rooftop across town sniper fights, you do more damage and you increase the range of the sniper. I run the thermal scope because that's just the meta right now, running thermals, because it's just you can see everything from such a far range that it's too much of an advantage not to use it. I run the F-Tac Stalker Scout, which helps with the ADS speed. This is where I increased the ADS speed a little bit, just so it wasn't all completely terrible where it took me 8 years just to ADS, because then you can get yourself sniped. So that's why I run the Stalker Scout stock. The perk I use is FMJ, because that way you can wallbang people. You can shoot them through the wall. You can run sleight of hand, maybe. Really, you don't really think you need that for a sniper. A good one would be maybe focus, but you don't really get shot that much while you're sniping, so I don't feel like you really need that much flinch resistance. And presence of mind can be good because you can hold your breath longer, but I don't feel like it's really necessary. I feel like FMJ is probably the way to go, and that's why I run it. So that's my sniper class. I also run cold blood on this. Obviously, I have to run overkill. I do run shrapnel on this because switching weapons in mid fight is not something that I need to do with this class almost at all. Because if I'm sniping, it's because it's rooftop to rooftop, and if somebody's coming to my building, I can tell, and I'll switch to my M4 right away. And if I'm running through buildings, or if I'm running anywhere where there could kind of be any kind of close range to mid range encounter where I would need my M4, I'm usually already running with it. I don't have my sniper out. So that's why I don't really feel like I need to run amped. So I run shrapnel, which gives me an extra lethal, so I get 2 claymores. This is, like I said, a sniping class and a more passive class. So if I'm sitting on a rooftop, I want claymores over grenades. This can all change in game. Obviously, if you get like another loadout drop, or if you see another weapon you want to pick up and drop one of yours, you can always do that. And then of course the heartbeat sensor. Every class I have is gonna have a heartbeat sensor, because it's that good. This one is the same as the MP7 class, but with an M4. In case I want to play a little more passive but still have defense against vehicles, I can do this one. So it's the exact same class as the MP7, but instead of the MP7, it's an M4. So I don't really need to go through attachments or anything, because it's the same thing as this M4. It's the exact same class. This one's a shotgun class, so this one I use if I'm going to be more aggressive, or if I'm like getting a drop late, a loadout drop late game, and I notice that it's like in the circle's gonna be like where buildings are, or downtown or something like that, and a lot of fights are gonna be within buildings. I'll run this class because the shotguns are very strong in certain shotguns are very strong in Warzone. The 725 is strong, but the bullets, the clip that you only get 2 and you have to reload, that's almost a death wish, especially if you're playing squads. If you're playing solos, you might be able to get away with it. But unless you get headshots and you're point blank, you're pretty much not going to one-shot or two-shot people with the 725, and then you have to reload. And if you're in squads and you do two-shot, now you're reloading while 2 other people are still trying to get you. So for me, the best shotgun in Warzone to use is the R90, because it still packs a punch, still does damage, but it gives you 12 bullets in your clip. I think it's 12, or it might be 14 to be honest. Bullets in your clip, right? And so you can take out a whole squad with 1 clip if you're accurate, because it's I think 2 to 3 shots to down somebody full armor, depending, headshots, body shots, all that kind of thing. 2 to 3 shots, and so you can take out a full squad of 3 with 9 bullets. Or 12 bullets if you're really inaccurate, which is the whole clip, but you can still get them all with 1 clip, and you don't have to reload after every 2 shots, and it still does really good damage, and it's a really good shotgun. So that's why I run it. This is my class that I run for the R90. I run the 1 megawatt laser, which increases the sprint to fire speed, which is really important, especially in close quarters, fast-paced action. The FTAC Close Quarters Pro, which increases the ADS speed, again, important. I don't really ADS with shotguns that much, but if I'm going to, I want to make sure that it's quickly. The Merc foregrip, which helps with recoil control and ADS speed. This is more for the ADS speed because it's a shotgun. You don't really need recoil control, though it does have 2 shots. It's not, the recoil is not crazy or anything. It's not bad at all. So this is why I have this more for the ADS speed. The rubberized grip tape, which helps with the recoil control. Actually, I should probably change this. Why do I have the recoil control one on? I don't feel like I need that. I'll probably put this one because it helps with the ADS speed and sprint to fire speed. It does drop the accuracy, but and that's why I have this on, because this helps with accuracy, because it does have a little bit of recoil. So that's why I have that on there. And then sleight of hand, you're going to want that for any shotgun, just because the reload speed is very important in any shotgun. So that's why I run that. Again, same thing here with the the reason I don't run amped is because I don't really need a switch. If I'm going to be in a building, I'll have my shotgun off. If I'm going to be in the open or where there's more long range lines of sight, I have my M4 out. That's why I run that. I run frags for this one. Frags are really good because you can cook them. Semtexes are good if you can stick people or vehicles, stuff like that. You can use it for that, but I feel like frags are a little bit better just because you can cook it and let it explode right as it gets to wherever they are, and they'll have no idea it's coming. And again, a heartbeat sensor. Every time I'm going to have a heartbeat sensor. So those are the 4 classes that I run in Warzone that I feel like are the best classes for Warzone at the moment. And Warzone is extremely fun. It's one of the best BRs I've played, if not the best BR I've ever played. No shot at Fortnite, but I just have a lot more fun playing this game. It's a lot more well-rounded. You would think it'd be a lot more slow paced, but it's not. If anything, it's more fast paced than Fortnite right now, which is kind of crazy. And they're constantly adding new things, and it's fresh and it's new and it's fun. I'm really enjoying playing it, and these are the classes that I feel like are the best for this. Again, things are subject to like opinion as well, and personal preference. So like when the sniper class, you can switch that up for the AX50. You can run a different AR. You can run a Growl, which is really, really good too, or a Kilo, which can be really, really good too, or an M13 if that's what you want. For the MP7 class, if you want to run an MP5, you can do that too. They're really good too, but the MP7 I think is a little bit better, especially in Warzone, than the MP5 is. Overall multiplayer, I think the MP5 is still better, but an MP7 in Warzone I think is better. Same thing with the M4 RPG. You can run whatever you want here. You can run whatever rocket launcher you want as well. Pila, or you can run a javelin or whatever. Javelins are not as useful for vehicles, obviously, because if they're coming at you, the javelin just takes too long to actually hit anything. So that's why I run RPGs, and RPGs are just broken at the moment. They're super, super strong. Like, they don't, not even just vehicles. Like, if you know there's somebody camping in a building, right, and you know they're in a certain window, you can just RPG through the window and down them without having to really wait for them to peek or see them at all, and it's just very strong in that case. Shotgun wise, you can technically run other shotguns. You can run the Model 680, which I don't understand how people are even good with that shotgun. It's awful, but if you're good with it, more power to you. You can run a 725 if you want, with sleight of hand. I guess you can probably get away with that if you're good enough. I'm clearly not, because I like the R90 better for especially for Warzone. So I mean, like I said, it's subject to change in terms of personal preference, and especially with like perks and grenades and things like that, and even certain perks. But I feel like one thing that needs to be a staple if you really want to like run a good like the best class is a heartbeat sensor for sure. You need to have a heartbeat sensor because it's just that good. It is. This is the one mode where heartbeat sensor is actually useful, because in multiplayer it's really not. It's kind of completely useless. You don't really need it in multiplayer. But in Warzone it's really useful, really good. And if you ever see one, like if you don't have it in your class but you see one in game, always pick it up, because they're just that useful. Also, running ghosts is really important. So a lot of times what I'll do is I'll get a class like this one. I'll run this one until I'm able to get another loadout drop, and then I'll get the other loadout drop. I'll get my sniper, or I'll get a shotgun, or whatever it is, and drop the RPG. That way I have my 2 primaries, but I still have Ghost on, because a lot of people use UAVs which are very strong in Warzone, and Ghost is super important so that you don't show up in the UAV and you don't show up in heartbeat sensors, because heartbeat sensors are also a lot of people use them, and they don't have a like one-time use. They run out, and you can use them whenever. So if you don't have Ghost, you're easily spotted by those, which even tells you the distance the person is away and everything. So that's usually what, like, not usually, but that's sometimes what I do if I feel like if I feel like I'm getting killed a lot because people are using UAVs on me and they know where I am, or heartbeat sensors, I'll switch to like this class, or the MP7 class, and then I'll run that until I'm able to get to another loadout drop, or get another loadout drop, and then I'll pick up a sniper or pick up a shotgun depending on what I want to do, or just hold on to the RPG if that's what I want to do with that specific game. But yeah, those are the best classes in my opinion for Warzone. Like I said, subject to change on personal preference, but in my opinion, these are the best classes to run. If you have any like suggestions of classes you think are better, or guns you think are better than the ones I'm using, or if you just see my gameplay and you think there's something I'm doing that I can do better, or you have any tips, go ahead and let me know. I'm open to all kind of constructive criticism. I'm not one of those people that can't take criticism, so feel more free, more confident than ever to do that if you want. I'm just, constructive criticism, not just like, you suck, you're terrible, because that doesn't do anything. Constructive criticism, tell me what I can do, what I'm doing wrong, and what I can do better. And yeah, just if you enjoyed it, make sure to drop a like and subscribe. That'd be amazing if you did. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, I will see you guys in the next one.